Hi, this is Yahira Lobos. I am here for the new moon in Sagittarius. We want to give thanks to all of you who may not know me. I'm an oracle for about 30 years and the founder of Crystal Nations. You can find me on Facebook as Francine DeGiorgio, and I'll put it down in the comments right now, actually, my name. And you can also find me on TikTok as Crystal Nations with an S 777, Instagram Crystal Nation 777. PM me on here in the comments and find me on the other social media platforms. Be informed, I am now coming out as also an Akashic record reader. I am to be certified with the Miss Amy Robeson and her Sacred Awakening course. After 30 years of reading the Oracle and being a channel as a New Earth visionary, I have dedicated my life these last 10 years as an advocate and an activist for those that have been diagnosed as neurodivergent, or what many of you may know as mental illness. In 2013, I was diagnosed with CPTSD. At that time, it was PTSD, but I became an advocate and a voice. Instead of taking pharmaceutical drugs, I listened to the voice that is my higher self. Um, my spiritual name is Yahira Lobos. That name came to me while I was on the journey from 2012, and I traveled around North America, activating and sharing the messages that would come to me with many of the star seeds and the leaders of the movement, what I call the eagle and the condor movement of those awakening. We were traveling around North America and around the globe to raise consciousness and awareness, and I became a voice for those who were neurodivergent. I got on stage, I told my life story, how my life was affected, and what the solutions were. I was to discover as I traveled around the United States. I met a lot of different people, been in a lot of different kind of ceremonies, experimented with breath work and yoga and qigong. And it was really a glory to meet everyone from the indigenous cultures and the different tribes from around North America to the different cultures and religions that led me to believe I'm part of the Rainbow Tribe. You know, it's been my mission my whole life to unify all the beings back to the Sacred Heart. I started to facilitate medicine wheels that I was invited to in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It birthed into Rainbow Star Wheels that I'm now facilitating, that are unifying all beings back to the Sacred Heart, back to the Sacred Circle. We are acknowledging our connection to our higher selves, which connects us to the divine. Doesn't matter what religion anyone practices, firm in, as long as it causes no harm. I personally don't follow any one particular religion. I consider myself part of the Rainbow Tribe, which is a unification of all the colors and creeds and beings and creatures. And I'm here for world peace, for unification, for remembering who we are. I've had a mission since I was a child, and I'm a survivor of all abuses. I'm a survivor of domestic abuse and sexual abuse, going from a child to a teenager. I became an addict, an alcoholic, and it wasn't until 2012 that I had a really brutal awakening that led my higher self to hearing the voice of God show me to choose a side, and to, instead of walking with one foot on the side of being an angel by day, so to speak. Truly, I worked with nonprofit organizations, and I would be an angel by day. And at night, I was working as a bartender in the industry of the restaurant, and was an addict and used cocaine for over 25 years, and on and off with heavy alcohol and all other kinds of drugs, and really poor behaviors, looping in victimhood, attracting a lot of situations that were unhealthy, an unhealthy lifestyle, didn't love myself, didn't care for myself, didn't have the right kind of foundation to really believe in myself and allow myself to really emerge from poverty and become sovereign. And a lot of us get looped into unhealthy relationships and unhealthy dynamics and jobs that we're stuck in that we don't love. And I was always a voice. 1971, I was born in a city called Suffern. And I told everybody, joking for my whole life, that, I was born in Suffern, literally backwards. I was a breached baby with two broken ribs. And I felt that my mission in this world was to be a voice against all of the systems that were broken, against all of the lies, the hierarchy, the people that were in authority that abused power. And as a victim, as a child that was victimized in the sense that I lost my ability to be at home at 16 and got institutionalized. And this is where my whole journey began for me in 1986, really. And in 1987, I started to have visions of a better world and how we can actually come together. And my whole life up until 2012 was getting sober. And as a recovered addict, as a survivor of all abuses, I've been on all sides of the coin. I've been ostracized, 7 near life death experiences, and many, many, many spiritual awakenings. My whole life, I pretty much was consciously aware and awake, but not to the sense where I knew how to love. And I'm really a big advocate, not only for those that are struggling with mental health issues, but for social emotional education and to educate our youth. And this is why I founded Crystal Nations. As I started traveling around the US, and as I was a voice, I was hiking and enjoying nature, and I was guided to beautiful specimens and crystals that I felt were gifts for me to give to the masses as I traveled. I gifted many of the star seeds and the elders, for the good work that they were doing, for the evolution of consciousness, for the hands in that were chopping the wood and carrying the water, so to speak, to bring on these 3 day events and day events and ceremonies and retreats. It took a lot of energy, a lot of coordination, a lot of volunteers. And this was a movement in 2012 that just took off, and a lot of people were doing the festivals. And I was so grateful to learn so many different teachers and leaders and cultures. And 2020 really took a lot of us off the road to go within and to finally do the hero's journey, the soul work, the shadow work that many of us have done in our own time at different ages. We all are. And so for me, I got sober at a late age, and I went on the road for 8 years. And 2020, I was, pretty beat up and worn out. A lot of us light workers had to learn that we can't just give, give, give. We have to find a balance. And we're also finding a new currency as the old paradigm is shifting and dissolving the old systems of the banks and the economics and the way that we do even education, medical. Everything's going to go. And we're the light workers that have the blueprints and the ideas and the visions that can birth a new earth. I'm part of a movement which involves many different cultures and religions and beings and age groups. And believe it or not, I'm super connected to a lot of different people from different cultural backgrounds to very different various economic and religious. It's just, I've been blessed to move around the planet. I didn't have a lot. I struggled. And I knew that we wanted to raise consciousness and awareness. And in order to do so, we were moving. And in 2020, it really did bring us within. And I believe that we all have had a lot of loss and grief and sadness with watching the old world go, but also a lot of excitement as we've been watching new technologies within, not just here with AI, but I'm speaking on a platform of many, many individuals from agriculture to economic to social emotional educators coming up with new programs for our youth, children, and families, recovery. We're looking at trauma. We're looking at how we think. We're listening to Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden and all of our indigenous grandmothers and grandfathers from the tribes of around North America and South America are teaching about their wisdom and their sacred laws and the plant world and the natural world, and how important our water is, and how to clean our air, and why the pipelines are so dangerous, and how to protect and become an advocate and an activist and a voice for Mother Earth, how we're connected, how we're all one. And these ceremonies that I've been a part of, everything from being invited to the Inipi, the sweat lodges, to the sacred circles, the medicine wheels, to healing and grief loss circles, to the sound ceremonies, to the drumming circles, to plant ceremonies. We have solutions that are organic and that are traditional in the sense that they've been passed down, these ceremonies and these ways of cleansing, clearing, purifying, healing mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And right now, as we approach the end of the year in this new moon here in Sagittarius, a fire sign, here we are at 12:12, the portal going into 12:13, because I think it is 8:16 right now a.m. So it is 12:13 right now. But we are in this energy, this fire energy, as the people, are approaching a lot of things that are in change and flux and movement, from natural disasters to the 33 wars that I last heard are going on in America, especially what's going on in Israel. And we have many of our people around the globe, especially here also in North America, that are suffering, that are struggling with mental health issues, with suicide, with drugs. We have a lot of elders that are struggling, that medical care has failed a lot of people. And there's been a lot of distrust in what you can see and what you can read. And we're asking people now, right now, to do the research, to go down the rabbit holes, to know that this isn't all a conspiracy, that we are the people and we are coming together to speak the truth about where we've been and where we are and where we can go if we just come together and unify. And what that looks like is many of us have to go through what is known as like the dark night of the soul. We need to look at what triggers us, what makes us get angry at other people, that wants us to suddenly judge and separate us from another, thinking that everything that's going on is outside of us, when really the war is within our own cells and our own DNA, from our ancestral trauma, from the lineages that have been passing down what's been going on for hundreds of years. And many of us need to remember that we are eternal, that there is no such thing as death, and that many of the ancient ones that have been here before, that have served in this world and that have died by the sword, that have been hung, that have been enslaved, have been the truth bringers of light. And here we are, we came back. And I consider us the Rainbow Tribe. And we remember who we once were. And we are here to be the ones to bring peace and to bring new ideas, that we want to say yes to the old and the traditional, that which brings no harm. But there's also a lot that's been written in books that many men and women follow, and it can be known as religions, or it could be systems or belief systems, or even perspectives that really haven't served humanity for a really long time. And a lot of people need to take a look at what and who they're pointing their fingers at and judging and separating themselves for, and really get to the core of what's really going on there. You know, when you see people getting in behind the wheel and you go from point A to point B and there's road rage with the individual driving a vehicle, it's okay once in a while. But if that's something somebody's every time, you're used to getting in the vehicle and they're road raging, there's something going on. And no, that's not healthy, because that rage is actually going out there into the quantum field of energy. And right now, in 2023, as we approach 2024, it's going to be in our best interest to really know how to rewire our brain and reprogram, because we've been triggered to react to everything that is outside of us, that we feel is happening to us instead of happening for us. We have an opportunity, really, with the astrological planetary lineup right now. Tomorrow, today, Mercury goes in retrograde. And that's a planet of communication going backwards. And we have a time to review until January 1st. We have all the planets in the sky that are going to be going forward till January 18th. We have all the planets going forward. And what this means is like as we approach the end of this year, we have right now Sagittarius in the moon getting ready to shift, I believe, into Capricorn. And Sagittarius is in the sun sign right now, which is a fire sign. And Mars, the planet of action, is in Sagittarius, a fire sign. We might have one other planet in Sagittarius, so we have a lot of fire energy. So a lot of positive energy that we have right now to really go deep within, to take a look back going towards 2020 to now, and then look back even further to 2012 and now. And what we want to look at is, how have you been evolving consciously and mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? What have you had to clear out, let go of? What have you been grieving, healing? What causes you frustration, anger? Are you really working at a job that brings you joy? Do you know what your gifts and talents are? Do you realize that you're a part of the solutions that we need here on earth? There are many of the people that are behind the scenes right now, working with groups of people that are humanitarians, advocates, and activists, artists, and musicians that are collaborating and networking and weaving and building community and building intentional communities. And this is what I got so blessed to be a part of in North America from 2012 to 2020. And then I live here in Arizona, and I live right outside of between Phoenix and Sedona in the pine forest. Beautiful place. And I've been here healing. I landed here right before COVID hit, and I got to sit in Maui in a 2-week silent meditation where I received the vision and the initiation I needed to reset, recalibrate. This happened right as COVID was starting. I got back to the United States in January 8th, actually, or 12th. And that's where COVID started to begin. And it gave us all time to reflect, pause, and redo. So, right now, with all these planets in Sagittarius and approaching the final countdown till the end of the year, we have a full moon that will be happening in 2 more weeks. And that will be the last full moon. We're going to end a cycle. So, right now, in this new moon energy, we have the ability to create a vision board, a collaboration of how do I want to reflect on all that has taken place this year as we are in the month of Sagittarius and in this portal date of 1213, just leaving the new moon energy, which is still really rich. So today, as you see this video, you'll be able to create a calendar of the next month. And if you have an idea of a project that you would like to start, this is the day that you can plant the seed for that, create a vision board, journal, taking the time out to just auto write, which is just allowing yourself to breathe, get centered, light a candle, right? Giving thanks for all of the kachinas here. We have sun god, we have owl. Way back there, we have snake transformer and morning singer. There's morning singer right there. This is Eagle Dancer, Broad Face, and the Enforcer. Grandmother's down here. I just put Mother Father inside of the medicine the rainbow star circle. Just saw an orb shoot across the sky when I brought Mother Father Kachina in there. Created a crystal grid. Was praying, and over the direction of the south, the wolf, I was calling, speaking, praying to my wolf who just passed away this year. So rest in peace and stay connected. Aquila Star, we are eternal, my Wolfie. Mommy loves you. But I have this light, and I was bringing Mother Father Kachina, saw a big orb go over the Sirius through Orion. And I then was praying, calling in the direction of above. Oh my goodness, this was like at 11:30. what led me to do this live. But then I looked to the direction of the west and saw two shooting stars going across the sky right above Adranima. And that was mind blowing. And then I saw in the direction of the north another shooting star. And then I think I saw another shooting star in the direction of the west. I saw five shooting stars just now. But to speak about this energy of how to complete 2023, we're approaching in 2 weeks the full moon. So creating a beautiful calendar of how to go forward for the next 30 days. Making a plan, sort of. Great Creator will make new plans and expect always the unexpected. But let's say you want to create something like a project where you want to write a book, or you want to create a song or a project that is with other people. You can plant the seeds of, like, what is it that you would like to do? Write that down. What is it? Why do you want to do it? Who is it for? Why do we need it? Where will you take this and show this or serve this or sell this? These are the questions that the New Earth visionaries can answer. I would love to do a read-in for you. I have over 35 oracle decks. I guess I could read off what I have. The biggest thing I would like to say about the read-ins, though, and this would be a great thing to do towards the end of the year, and I highly suggest getting a read-in with me, especially since I'm literally getting certified with the Akashic Records within the next month. I have to do 15 practice read-ins. So if anybody would like to receive a 20-minute free Akashic Record read-in, find me. This 20-minute free reading will be in exchange for a testimony for me to be certified with the master teacher who is certifying me. Today was my last class after a few month program. It was delightful. I have 30 years of experience of reading the tarot, and I'm a natural gifted oracle. I came into this world literally connected with source. My mother died when I was really young, and from that point I've been listening to the voice of God. It took me forever to get sober. That was 10 years ago, and now I'm going on 10 years this year of sobriety. I'm so grateful. Actually, it's 11 years. Oh my God, it's 11 years this year of sobriety. And I have different oracle decks that I also could read from. So right now, I love the New Earth Visionary Earth Warriors Oracle. I got it from Sedona. It's from Elena Fairchild, and it's great for the New Earth Visionaries to answer questions like, what is it that I need to focus on? This is an example prime read-in, my number one read-in I like to offer right now for New Earth visionaries or beings that would like to co-create with the divine source energy and create a life that they really love, that has purpose. What's your gift? What's your talent? What's your mojo? Or what is it that you're really moving through? So here's the questions. What is it that you would like to focus on? What is it that you would like to heal? And what is the advice that Great Creator has for you to heal yourself right now? What is it that your soul would like to share with you on a deep level? What is the advice that Great Creator has for you right now to tell your soul? And then what is the best advice going forward to ensure your best future? So if you would like to book a reading with these oracle cards, I'm doing a $50 slide and scale all the way till 222 to 333. If you play 333, you will get an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on what you really need. I love giving readings. I'm really connected to source. I give authentic, great advice based on my life experience, what I overcame, who I've learned from. I have resources. I have tons of books like that are my guides. And I have a lot of crystals and information about herbs and plants. But moreover, I have a lot of connections around the world. And for whatever it is that you're interested in, I have had my hands in many of Jill's and Jack's trades because, as a visionary, as an oracle, as a grid worker, as I rock hounded, as I was coordinating transformational music and art festivals, as I volunteered around the United States doing ceremonies with all different people, I met everybody. And before that, I had a life of traveling all around the US. And I used to be into the death metal scene with the bikers and traveling and yahooing. And I was wild and I loved people and I was vivacious when I was younger. And I was always kind of like an angel by day, a devil by night kind of gal. And it wasn't until 2012 that finally I heard the voice of God to ask me to choose a side. And it's brought me to be able to bring these oracle readings and all of my gifts that I've actually been studying, the not just the metaphysical, but in as a spiritual being, I've been involved with looking into cultures and religions and looking at the mind and the way that our emotions are, how to regulate, how to clear, how to heal. It just took me forever to give up the drugs. My advice to anybody who struggles with that, my heart goes to you. And I am one of the greatest people that you can go to because I can share with you so many different tips and knowings about drugs and the whole path of a drug addict and how we got there and how to clear it, how to heal it, how to choose better, which comes from your heart. It became very easy the minute that I chose to give up and put the pipe down for real. And I chose Great Creator and the higher mission, and it was an instant activation. And that's what can happen for all of you. It doesn't just happen for some of us. This is your birthright. If you're stuck, it's your birthright to get unstuck. If you don't know who you are, what your gifts are, what your talents are, allow me to pull some cards from you. That's one deck that I just shared with you, but I have for those that are going through many different things. I have the Power Animal Oracle deck, a Sacred Traveler deck, a Sacred Destiny deck, Mary Magdalene. I have a Biblical Mary Magdalene, the Crystal Oracle, a Starstream Oracle, a Crystal Starseed Oracle, the Oracle of the Seven Energies, the African Goddess, the Life Purpose, the Compass and Map, the Akashic Records, the Archetype, the Past Lives, the Transcendent Journeys through the Eyes of the Soul, the Fairy Oracle, the Oracle of Isis, Sacred Geometry, Sacred Vision, the Mayan Oracle, the Fairy Oracle, the Tower of the Witches Oracle, the Mystical Goddess Oracle, the Mystical Shaman Oracle, um, the Sisters of the Tarot Oracle, the Metatron Archangel, Archangel Metatron Oracle. I have the Angels Oracle, the Archangels Oracle, um, an Aboriginal, the Australian Oracle, which is the Shining Woman. And wow, that's a lot that I just panned out. So those oracles that I just said, they are wonderful. I've worked with all of these for years. I have Earth Magic. Yeah, that was just hiding. I have Earth Magic. All of these oracles that I work with, Kuan Yin, forgot to say that. And which one is that? Yeah, Isis. Kuan Yin. Oh, and a flower essence one. Gosh, I have a lot. They all have certain spreads we can do. And if you want me to intuitively speak with you for 5 minutes to help you figure that out before we start the reading, that would be a 5 minute constellation I would do with you for free, just to feel out whether I can assist you or not. 5-10 minutes, I'll give a constellation of that. We can do it through PM Messenger. It's really easy for me to get a feel there. I use my voice messenger, so you'll get a vibration of who I am and what I'm feeling like at that moment. You want to send me a voice message, I love them. If not, you could just text. It's the same thing for me. I can tap in. So this would be great for you for the end of the year. Getting an astrology chart done, I highly suggest the Astrology Hub. I also know that Pamela, what's her name? Amanda Pua is the one who runs the Astrology Hub, but Rick Levine, I love the Leo King, and I really am digging uh, Kelly Rosanna as well. And who's the other one? Gosh, he's the guy in Costa Rica, but I can't think of him right now. Um, phew, he's not. Get an astrology chart read, human design, gene keys. The end of the year, be positive as you approach the new year, have mantras. We're going to go through the winter solstice. It's a great time to coming together with other people to give thanks for the time of the winter. We're ending the fall. So we're in the review, the rest, where we're going into the silence. We're asking how we can go through the year better. You know that we can slightly place the plans of how we want to evolve on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, how we want to go through the next year better, how we want to use this fire energy of the Sagittarius energy of this ending of this last moment going into Capricorn, into the earth, how we can utilize this energy by making a vision board and planting some seeds with your community, with your friends, with your family to come together for the holidays, to remember that you're not alone, even if you are alone. Um, Reach out, ask and look for those that are in integrity, that really care, that have your best interest at heart. Ask the right questions, look for discernment, self-care for the end of the year, getting some breath work in and qigong and exercise, and really making sure that you're eating well and really caring about what you're supporting, what you're buying, what you're saying, what you're thinking, because all of that is creating who we are. Maybe learning a little bit from Joe Dispenza about how to rewire the brain, learning from people about the deep mysteries of this world and the mathematics of our heart and how that's so dynamic, Greg Braden. But we have so many indigenous leaders that are all over YouTube, and there's so many movements that are all over social media. So how can you put your hands in and learn? And how can you also share your wisdom? And how could you be of service to humanity and to this earth, to the water, to the children? And how can you come together next year with others to make a big difference? And how can you support the people that you know who have been trying so hard, especially in the spiritual community? We are not in competition. We should come together. It doesn't matter whether somebody's literally gun ho about one way of being spiritual. Honestly, brothers and sisters, we're also uniquely different. Just allow, surrender, and serve from the highest of your heart. Do what you love, find joy. We are meant to come into this new year with the most vibrant energy ever. A lot of people get disappointed and sad around the holidays. And what Great Creator's telling me is don't worry. A lot of things are going to be shifting throughout the next couple of like decades with how we're coming together. And I think we just got to shift our perspective on how we want to celebrate. But I love celebration time. I love Christmas because of the lights and the colors, and family all came together in my Italian and Mexican family back in New York. It was just a joyous time when I was growing up. But you grow up and you learn about the consumerism and the lies and the stories and what is it really based on. And so we're getting beyond this. And I just want everybody to hang in there and just allow yourself to feel free of enjoying what you have. Don't let anybody make you feel bad or judgmental. Just listen, we're all here on earth. Everything's here. Just we're getting through it. We're the transition team. Like, everybody's at a different level of like consciousness. We're nobody's above anybody else. Like, we're all in this together. Let's help each other out. Like, we really, really do need to know that we're not. Some people look like they're suffering more than others, and yes, that has happened. I say, why not try to help those people and get them the hell out of that suffering? If you're not suffering as much, what are you doing to help others not suffer? And to the people that end their own suffering, how can you enjoy the best life that you possibly can and be healthy? And God bless you if you can bring that solution to us. Thank you. And it's really important to just come in the Sacred Heart and pray together with your families right now. I'm a woman of prayer. I'm always in the rainbow star circle, praying, calling in the directions, calling in my guides, calling in my benefics, calling in my ancestors, saying my ancestors' names, giving thanks and praying over my food all day, all night, praying over my dog's food, water, my own water. Just, it's a prayer, it's a prayer, it's a prayer. And I pray over people when I'm walking, when I'm shopping, when I'm bumping into this and that. I'm like, hey, hey, let's do a prayer, huh? And it's amazing because you find out how many people are really wanting to hear the sacred words that connect us back to the Sacred Heart, that help us remember that we're all in this together, that we're not alone, that we are one family, we are one love. And love, 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 that's the answer, that's the solution, that's what we want. We want to feel love, give love, and receive love. And so may we go forth knowing how to love ourselves better so that we can nurture others. When we become martyrs of our own giving and burn ourselves out, the spiritual light workers for the last decade can tell you that we just went through a whole lot of lessons. And we really are learning how to give and take in harmony. And everybody's going to look at that give and take, how to reciprocate, how to be more of service, how to be gentle with our elders, how to look out for our children, how to be aware of what we're saying. And so we can do much better. We're doing great, even though there's bad, bad, bad stuff happening around the globe. And there is high rates of a lot of things just crash and burn and dying, health, this, that, whatever. There is the magnificent beauty of this birthing of the new earth, of joy. And I've been blessed to see it when I traveled around the United States. The last couple of 3 years was a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work. It wasn't about blissing out, trying to get out there and bliss out. I had a lot of responsibility to take a look at, a lot of mirror work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of Honoponono, saying I'm sorry to people that I may have hurt, asking for forgiveness. This is important as we go forward. This was the biggest thing that we can do on this full moon, is release any guilt, blame, shame, and ask for forgiveness. Forgive others. Here's Kuan Yin. She's got a little bit of Santa Claus on her right now, but this is Kuan Yin, the goddess of forgiveness, and she's come to us here on earth and isn't leaving until we can all remember that we came here to be of service, that we took on what we took on in a social contract, a soul contract with great creator. And some of us did get hurt and we were victims, we're volunteers. Just remember that everything that we do is being witnessed by many, the benefics above heaven, and we are not alone. Our ancestors are with us, and if we can forgive those who have hurt us and remember that we are the ones that bring the solutions, the love, the light, we can do this. And it's just letting go of the hatred, the vengeance, the whole everything, carrying all that pain and shame and blame and guilt. Burn it away in a fire purification for the next full moon. For the winter solstice, gather, have a potluck dance, do a ceremony, pray. Christmas, Hanukkah, celebrate, Yule, love all of each other. Carry in the new year with some intentions, with the prayer, with the ritual, with the ceremony. Make offerings to the ancestors, to the land, give thanks. Say thank you to everyone. This is a time to be in gratitude for all the things that we have. Give thanks to the purity of the white snow. We are facing the direction of the north when we approach December 21st, the winter solstice. May we give thanks as we say thank you to all of our benefic guides and ancestors in the north. This is the time that we bring in the solitude, the rest, the recuperation, that we can restore ourselves through that rest and period of going into the hibernation, and giving thanks to the 7 generations that walked before us to sit upon this element of the earth in the north and contemplate the wisdom that even White Buffalo Woman has shared with us. In the direction of the north, we give thanks to the purity of the white light that she brought to us to remind us that all things are sacred, and to be reminded of the medicine of the buffalo, that has taught us how to make compromises for and sacrifices for the loved ones and communities and families that we are connected to. How to come back into that element of the earth and remember that we are the advocates and activists, the voices for Pachamama. And we give thanks to the mid of the night where we are now, where all the dreams and visions are born, and we acknowledge the children that are to be born. So we want to end this here at this moment with the ending of that prayer with the North and say thank you. Thank you to Great Creator. Thank you to Pachamama. Thank you to all of our benefic guides. I will say that there is a card they told me I could read for you all, which is Through the Eyes of the Soul. And this is from Cheryl Yambrock Rose. She's a lovely artist, visionary artist from the UK. I highly suggest her oracle cards. Through the Eyes of the Soul. What messages do you have for us on this day? Here we go. And then what other messages so we can bring out any other messages? Okay. This first card right here is number 43. Adapt to a new situation. This is Saint Mary's de la Mer. Don't be afraid of change and trust the process. Your work may be more effective in another location. Yeah, some of us are being asked to move, and like where we are right now isn't exactly where we are being meant to stay. And so our work might not be, people might not be open to it where we live. I kind of get that for myself. And it might be more received in another location. And also, just to speak a little bit about this card, the painting depicts right here Saint Mary Magdalene and Saint Sarah, who have journeyed from Egypt, arriving by boat at the marshland of the Carmarage in southern France. Saint Mary's de la Mar is a wild, exotic place of flamingos. Magdalene had become the patron saint of the sailors, and because of the party's safe arrival, her daughter Sarah is the patron saint from all over Europe to honor Saint Sarah with ceremony and celebration. They reenact the safe landing of the boat with statues aboard, and then they carry them lovingly back to the church. This beautiful tradition inspired this artwork. Sarah is wearing her special symbol of an anchor and the heart commemorating the event. Oh, her daughter Sarah is the patron saint of the gypsies, and each year at the end of May, the gypsies come from all over Europe to honor Saint Sarah with ceremony and celebration. That's really cool. Sarah is the patron saint of gypsies. I didn't know that. And Mary Magdalene is the patron saint of sailors. Didn't know that either. The Marys are definitely coming together as well. I get another message. Mary, divine mother energy, is really up. The divine feminine using her voice. It's huge. Okay, let's see. And then this is a very important card. It's sharing your wisdom with others. Share your wisdom with others and shine your light. Come down off the mountain and develop your gifts that you've been given. Speak your truth. This is the hermit that stands on her narrow path of initiation. She holds up the lamp of truth to guide those below in the darkness. The background of the painting is the sunrise view from the northwest side of Mount Shasta on the morning of the harmonic convergence. Wow. I had a vision the year of the harmonic convergence, which was 1987, and the harmonic convergence was a gathering around the globe to bring us together, to unify. It was like a clarion call around the globe that brought ceremony together. The staff symbolizes the magical power of pilgrimage. Wow. The leaves sprouting from her staff represent new life taking form and wisdom waiting to be taught. Her cloak represents protection while she is withdrawn and transversing the inner realms. Her lamp is the fruit of that introspection, shining out into the world and reflected in her eyes. Wow, what a great message. And then we also got for many, it's move away from a difficult situation. So one of the first cards we did get was adapt to a new situation. Like, let's not forget that, right? And shine your light, right? You have wisdom to teach others. Now you got 42. Move away from a difficult situation. This is Shasta, Shamanika. Use your intuition to avoid destructive environments and recognize and repel negative people and those who would dominate you. Beware of those who would hang on to your bright energy to drain your vital life force. The Shamanika woman is high up on Mount Shasta in her place of visions. She carries her magic staff with her rare, pristine flower called the Shasta lily in its crystal sphere. Ever fresh and full of light, this lily is native to the land of Shasta and only found there. Down the side of her wand run ancient Lemurian symbols related to the rock petroglyphs across the valley. She recognizes the stag as a shapeshifter and will not be dominated or fooled by him. Shielded by the environment, her feathered cloak, she is in her power and walks away. We have the power to walk away from all difficult situations. Don't get yourself caught up in anything that you don't need. Okay? Main thing is to know that we don't need to get caught up in being controlled by other people. The one thing about building community and being on the spiritual hero's journey was really being able to read people and their intentions. And one of the ways that I've been told to do that and share that is by asking the right questions. So use your discernment and know what's best for you. Meditate, ask Great Creator, Mother Earth, go on a spirit walk and ask the spirit guides that you're connected to your higher self, to show you, your ancestors to show you. You know, make offerings when you pray and listen and watch. Auto write is the way that I was speaking of earlier, to journal, but that's how you know something's not right. You read yourself back your journal after a week's worth of crap, and you're going to realize what's not in your highest alignment, and you'll be able to walk away from it. You can ask your higher self and your guides to show you the solutions and where you can go that would be best for you. So that's really great. And the last card that I got was Embrace the Three Worlds. This is card number 11. And this is the dawning of Green Man. And this is incorporate balanced judgment. Look from the viewpoint of the three perspectives, underworld, middle world, and upper world, in making decisions. So the vision of this painting concerns the dawning of Celtic shamanism and the contemporary revival of the Western mystery traditions. The painting combines the archetypes here of the tradition's male creation figurines, the green man, the green knight. The antlers are considered a sign of divinity by ancient cultures because they reach towards the heavens. In this image, the antlers span and embrace the three worlds of the Celtic shaman, the upper realms or the heavenly realms, the middle world or the terrestrial realms, and the underworld or the other worlds. Entrances to these worlds are pictured as portals in the background. embrace the three worlds means finding a balance. That is a big message coming from, I do know that a big message I got was we're not going to the right, we're not going to the left, we're finding the middle ground. That's what that is to me. The upper world, the inner world, the lower world. We're looking at everything, taking a higher look like the eagle, and taking and getting a perspective from a higher view. We're flying over the mundane to get a higher perspective. We also are being asked to neutralize and find the middle road, find the common ground. Yes. And this is what will find peace. Expect the unexpected during these times and be aware of our mental health. Make sure you take precautions for family members that may not be well. And we are the ones that are a lot more down the road of being conscious. Get people outside of the family to help family members that are in deep crisis. Sometimes it's our friends that can help our family members, not us. That's what I think that we need to do, is find ways to have parties and barbecues and invite our light worker friends with our families that have had a lot of dysfunction and been broken, and start healing the hearts within, starting with you, so that going forward in 2024, you're positive that you can get through. Make a plan of self care for yourself, for your family. Make a plan for your career. Make a plan for your interest. Make a plan for everything. Have a good life. Create it. Don't just let it go by. You're the co creator. Connect with the divine. And in the meantime, I am Yahira Lobos. I'd love for you to give me a comment and let me know how I did here, how you liked this reading. Love it. It would really help me out. I have been out there doing a lot of work as a volunteer, haven't been focused on making the money, but I got certified in these last 3 years in social emotional education. I'm an educator. I'm certified in the Heart Thread. It's a meditation of the heart. I'm certified in the Talking Circles by Chief Phil Lane. I want to say thank you of the Four Worlds. And he is with the Eagle and Condors traveling around the world, bringing world peace. Heidi Little, want to give her thanks for her social emotional education. If you're interested, send me a comment. I am definitely an advocate of getting educators who are in schools, that are teachers, and that also just are homeschooling, to really learn how to bring in activations, meditations, and transmissions, ways of connecting the children to their own heart, body, mind, and soul, helping them to navigate through problem solving in ways to neutralize any conflict, and also to support the self esteem and the healthy development of one's body, mind, and heart and soul. And so, educating them on all the things that we haven't educated them in mainstream school. I got certified in that as well. And if you want, I think I'll give you the websites for these things. If you're interested in talking circles, it's being able to facilitate um, topics that need to be addressed globally and worldwide in our communities, locally or internationally. But they're about talking about the topics that need to find a middle ground. So these are ways of neutralizing the differences of opinion, of being, cultures, and religion. It's about educating and bringing a voice to the platforms. The sacred circle, the talking circles are sacred. They have an intention of allowing everybody to have a voice and to bring in unity and peace, and also finding ways to bring in solutions. We have different kinds of talking circles. Some are just talking, some are bringing in solutions, some are bringing in debates. So there's many different angles of how we can bring our voice and bring the solution of communication. It's really key right now. It's really up there. And I am certified right now, getting ready to get certified. So anybody who would like a 20-minute Akashic record read-in to get a sample of who I am in exchange for a testimony for my teacher to be certified, I need a testimony is 15. So I'm willing to give away a 20-minute read-in for a testimony. It would be a great way of getting to know me and how I work with the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records helps me go into the Sacred Heart with you and to connect with your master teachers and loved ones and to receive information about the questions you have or maybe challenges that are approaching you. Um, there's a lot that comes through. It's like steps and things that normally we wouldn't pick up from just maybe a tarot card. Okay, it goes way deeper. And yeah, I'm a certified peer advocate for the mental health, and I have underneath my belt over 30 years of reading tarot and also working as a mentor, teacher, and life coach. In my recovery, I've really excelled with just getting through the dark night of my soul in this last decade. And I really feel like that's the biggest part that I have under my belt with all my connections. But um, I am a woman of prayer and ceremony. So if you would like, I can start and end your actual reading in prayer. Otherwise, um, I will connect with all my guides and everything beforehand, and I can just do a direct read, and it's not required that you receive a prayer, especially if you're not interested in that. Um, that is something I do part of my practice. So you can guarantee that I would always be connecting in prayer to our benefic, meaning good, master teachers and loved ones, which are our team that works with us on the other side, the invisible team. And yeah, these are the things that I'm offering. And then soon I'm going to go live and show some of my merchandise and my offerings on TikTok and both Instagram under Crystal Nation 777. For Instagram, and TikTok is in Crystal Nations with the S 777. Want to give thanks? I think it's 101. I am complete. I want to say thank you so much. Like this, share this, comment, book a session. My readings are awesome. Thank you so much. I love you guys and all your support, and happy new moon. And I can't wait to come live again. I'll be going live every week.